Praise the Lord. Genesis chapter 13. Abraham and Lot part. From Egypt, Abraham went up to the Negev with his wife and all that belonged to him, and Lot accompanied him. Now Abraham was very rich in livestock, silver, and gold. From the Negev he traveled by stages toward Bethel, to the place between Bethel and Ai, where his tent had formerly stood, the site where he had first built the altar. There he invoked the Lord by the name. And now here we can see how Abraham's memory was sharp. He recognized the altar that he built, and we can see his love for God by invoking him by his name and believe in him too. Verse 5. Lot, who went with Abraham, also had flocks and herds and tents, so that the land could not support them if they stayed together. Their possessions were so great that they could not dwell together. There were quarrels between the herdsmen of Abraham's livestock and those of Lot's. At this time, the Canaanites and the Perizzites were occupying the land. Verse 8. So Abraham said to Lot, "Let there be no strife between you and me, or between your herdsmen and mine, for we are kinsmen. Is not the whole land at your disposal? Please separate from me. If you prefer the left, I'll go to the right. If you prefer the right, I'll go to the left." Lot looked about and saw how well watered the whole Jordan plain was as far as Zoar, like the Lord's own garden, or like Egypt. This was before the Lord had destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot therefore chose for himself the whole Jordan plain and set out eastward. Thus they separate from each other. Abraham stayed in the land of Canaan, where Lot settled among the cities of the plain, pitching his tent near Sodom. Now the inhabitants of Sodom were very wicked in the sins they committed against the Lord. From the readings, we can see how Abraham was wise, and his wisdom is shown whereby he is older than Lot, and after realizing the strife between their herdsmen, he gave him first opportunity to choose the land before he chooses. He gave him first chance, but that also we see how he was also selfless, because if at all he may be selfish, he may take the land he wants first, or take the whole of the land, then send Lot away after the strife. So his wisdom prevailed in that sense, and that wisdom was as a result of that blessing. But if you look at Lot, you can see he was misled by the beauty, what he is seeing in his eyes. Therefore, he chooses where was more beautiful, thinking that there will be happiness there. Though inside that beauty was a danger. Sodom and Gomorrah. As we continued, verse 14, after Lot had left, the Lord said to Abram, look about you, and from where you are, gaze to the north and south, east and west. All the land that you see I'll give to you and your descendants forever. I will make your descendants like the dust of the earth. If anyone could count the dust of the earth, your descendants too might be counted. Set forth and walk about in the land, through its length and breadth, for to you I'll give it. Abram moved his tent and went on to settle near the terebinth of Mamre, which is at the Hebron. There he built an altar to the Lord. After Lot departed, God appeared to Abram again. And here we can see that out of that strife, as the God is almighty, can cause anything. Maybe want Abraham to be alone, so that the blessing that he gives to Abraham may manifest when he is alone with his workers and his descendants. And that's why when Abraham was now alone, he told him that the land that you are seeing in front of you, east, west, south, or north, will be yours and your descendants. And your descendants will be like the dust of the sea. And if anyone, could count the dust of the sea, then that person could count your descendants. And here, from the blessing, we are the descendants of Abraham. And this is through Christ. Through Christ. And through Christ, that blessing that God promised Abraham, we are receiving. Therefore, as Christians, we are descendants of Abraham. And if anyone could count the dust by the sea, he can't count us. Amen.